Hi, this is Emily the Crunchy Coach with you today, and I want to show you something I've got here in a basket. Look at that. Tomatoes of all different colors. They were all totally green when I picked them 2 or 3 weeks ago, and what I want to talk to you about today is how to extend the life of your frost tender plants such as tomatoes and bell peppers. This will apply whether you live in a warm climate or in a cold climate. It's just that if you live in a cold climate, obviously you're still going to have a shorter growing season even if you extend it. But the principles will allow you to get more fruit from your garden just maybe 2 to 4 weeks longer than you might think. Back in November, I knew it was going to freeze. I saw the weather forecast, and so I began to throw sheets and frost blankets. I would have a frost blanket on one, a sheet on another, of my tomato plants because I had started them a little later than I should have for my North Texas fall garden, and they were full of tomatoes, but they were still all green. Hardly any. There were 3 or 4 that were turning yellow, but most of the other ones were very green. So I began to protect them from the frost. Now, we didn't have any really hard frosts until right around Thanksgiving. But what happened then was the leaves froze and died, but the stems still stayed fine, and the fruit was still fine. So I said, well, I'm going to try this a little longer. And so when I knew that it was going to freeze, I would continue to cover them with sheets and frost blankets. But there was one day, we were going to have a hard frost, and I didn't want to push my luck. So I went ahead and I harvested all the green tomatoes, not having any idea whether they were all going to turn red. I harvested them all, I should say, except from one plant. This one plant had the most tomatoes of any of them, and I wanted to give them a chance to grow a little more and maybe start to turn ripe on the vine, thinking they might taste better. Well, that went on so I harvested all the green tomatoes except that one plant, and that one plant I actually began giving it 2 sheets. I would cover it with 2 sheets because it was starting to get even colder, down to the upper 20s. And then finally, early December, I heard the forecast that it was going to get close to 20 degrees. I didn't want to push my luck anymore, so I went ahead and harvested all the tomatoes from that plant as well. Well, lo and behold, as you just saw in the basket, they are all gradually turning red. We have already eaten several of those tomatoes that were totally green when I picked them. And after 2-3 weeks of just sitting out of sunlight in the house, they turned red and they tasted wonderfully. So I want you to know that if you want to extend the life of your frost tender food-producing plants in the fall, it is possible. Buy some frost blankets, or you can just use some extra sheets that you don't mind getting a little wet or a little dirty. It'll add about 2 weeks to a month to your harvest time. I hope that helps you. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a fantastic day.